All right, so.
Just waiting for you to vote. Your vote.
Yes. Sorry about that. Thank you. Thank you, Rob, for the clarification.
No problem.
Item number 9 passes 5-0.
Okay, next item is adopt a resolution amending fees for special events with mutual impact at Miles Square Regional Park. Presented once again, the only community service manager, Mr. Rob Frizelle.
Thank you so much, Mayor and council members. Glad to be back. In March 2025, Orange County Board of Supervisors voted to approve our wonderful 50-year lease extension of the Fountain Valley Sports Park within Miles Square Regional Park. In addition to the 50-year lease extension, the County of Orange generously donated or approved the transfer of 16 acres of new parkland to the city of Fountain Valley, the largest park donation in over 20 years in the city. And the previous one was from them as well for fields 1 through 4, 5, 6, 7. In partnership with the County of Orange, staff presents for City Council consideration a resolution to amend the city fees for special events with mutual impacts at Miles Square Regional Park. Orange County and the OC Parks have worked collaboratively with the City of Fountain Valley for decades to enhance the quality of life for our community through the renowned Miles Square Park. The proposed amendment would eliminate any cost recovery and permitting fees for county-hosted special events within Miles Square Regional Park in an amount not to exceed $50,000 annually. The way we based that was typically the county hosts 2 to 3 large special events that have mutual impacts, and the cost average around $10,000 to $15,000, and so that $50,000 cap would cover the current amount of special events that are hosted there. And so quickly I'll read some of the parts of the resolution. The City of Fountain Valley will waive all special event permitting fees for the county-hosted special events held at Miles Square Park. Applicable permitting fees shall include Fountain Valley Fire Department permits, inspections, and on-site staff support of the event, Fountain Valley Public Works encroachment permits and associated inspections and staff support. That's for like the turn arrows and different things coming into the sports park. Fountain Valley Police Department staff in support of the event, which typically isn't large because the county side is under the jurisdiction of OC Sheriff, but our police department will provide services if necessary. And then Fountain Valley Community Services special events permits, we typically use the sports park if they have large special events as overflow parking to make sure their events go well. Number 2, the City of Fountain Valley will waive all special event permitting fees for county-hosted special events held at Miles Square Park in the amount not to exceed $50,000 for fiscal year June 1 through June 30th. So it'll be on the fiscal year calendar. And lastly, City of Fountain Valley will waive all special event permitting fees for county-hosted special events held at Miles Square Regional Park through fiscal year 2030-31. And so with that, I open it up for your discussion and your direction.
Okay, do you have any public comment?
We have 3 requests to speak.
Okay.
Andrea Martel.
Hello, thank you for the time to speak. So we've got these fees involved, and one of my questions is, how does this impact, like, you have things like our festivals and things that we do, and we charge them fees. So these county fees, is that going to be something where someone's going to raise an issue with charging fees to one person and not another for one event or another? What are these special events, if they could be defined? And then does the county have the right to put things on the calendar and have priority based on compared to what the city puts on it? So are we going to be in charge of scheduling the events in this park, or is the county going to be able to just plug up all our calendar, like in the prime time of the year in the summer? We have so many events that we have been regularly scheduling that are very well attended. So how would it impact that? And anyway, and the last thing was just to to mostly define what is a county-hosted event. Is that something like these fun runs, or is this something where we bring a vendor in, or a community, thing like that? If it's a different type of an event, then that's a different category. So if we could clarify some of those points.
Okay, City Manager, would you please clarify those 3 points? Oh, okay, Rob, mic is yours.
Sorry, I totally apologize. That was a deficiency on my part in the presentation. So just to clarify, in the greater Mile Square Park, we have 78 acres currently of the Fountain Valley Sports Park. The remaining, I believe, 650 acres, don't check my math on that, but I believe it's 650 acres, is county-owned property. We lease our portion of the Fountain Valley Sports Park from the county through the quitclaim deed with the U.S. government. We have an agreement in place related to how special event operations are to work, what fees are required, what permits are required, but ultimately the county portion is not owned or operated by the city in any way, and that's basically, to think about it, it's David L. Baker Golf Course and it's Mile Square Regional Golf Course and everything to the east. The Fountain Valley Sports Park is located on Brookhurst and Heil, in between those two golf courses. We have the authority to operate through our MOU with the county any and all special events that we want to on our portion of the property. They can, in the same fashion, operate any and all events that they want to on their property. The fees really come into place related to jurisdictional responsibilities. Our portion of our park, where we do Summerfest and concerts in the park, the jurisdiction is the Fountain Valley Police Department, the Public Works Department, if Scott's still here, and our Fountain Valley Fire Department. So we do permit through all of our own agencies. They don't charge me any fees, it's nice, but that's because we're one city. But at the same time, the county has its own jurisdictional responsibilities. They have OC sheriffs, they have their own county public works, but the one thing that we do have is fire jurisdiction on their portion of the property. And so most of the fees would be associated with fire inspections, fire permits, and if there's any requirement for staff on site for those special events. Like I said, they have OC sheriff, so we don't have a ton of police department response, but we do still have emergency response if needed.
And if I can add on that, for the clarification in regards to county-hosted events, so those are events outside of the Fountain Valley Sports Park, so it would be on the county side. And so these permit fee waiver will be waived when they have those events that require the city inspection services, mainly a fire department and so forth, with larger events. And then in regards to the city sports park, it would not impact us. We will continue to operate from a community standpoint. Should the county have events that the city doesn't have any events and activity, there is an opportunity for the county to request the city side for the usage of those space, but it shouldn't impact community services and the services that's being provided to the community. I hope that clarifies the questions.
Thank you. Sorry about that.
No worry. Thank you.
Next speaker, Julie.
She passed.
She what?
You're good? Okay. Katy?
Greetings again. Not that long ago, we had a year that was a banner year for festivals on the Brookhurst side. And I believe Troy of O Entertainment was right here. And you were talking with him about incredible amount of damage caused by too many events in a short period of time, damaged the field so badly. There was a huge bill to be paid for that. It required special, I'm not a landscaper, I can't give you the terminology, it required special remediation to make the fields usable again. And I recall Troy being a private business person who paid his fees, paid nothing, as I understand, nothing was waived for him. He had to come up with some of the costs of the remediation of those fields because it was his event, it was his baby, as memory serves. I don't have notes with me on that. However, that was contentious on both sides. He wasn't happy, we weren't happy. It was a wash. Nobody made money on the deal. 4 festivals, and it was basically a wash. I remember that, and I do not like anything that I read about this. There is no limit on the number of events that they can use or they can utilize. There's no limit. I saw that in the agenda. So you say, well, it could be up to $50,000 a year, no biggie. Well, over the course of that contract, it was 5 or 6 years. That's $250,000 right there. Why are we throwing away revenue that we deserve? Is this the Grinch that stole Christmas that's looking at this like little Cindy Lou Who, and there's some magical benefactor that's going to come and rescue our building, that there were contentious meetings about the disposition of that building just last year, and it's suddenly a topic that gets thrown in? Which council members are pushing for this? Which of you are in favor of this? I would like to know that. There must be somebody here that thinks it's a good idea. This is not something that staff has made a recommendation on. Normally, they have recommendation 1, recommendation 2, which one do you want to do, which do we recommend? They're not recommending this. There's none of that here. Which one of you is for this? Which one of you is promoting this? No answer, okay. I don't expect an answer. I know certain things about certain members of this council from personal experience, having gone through something similar to what they've gone through. And it
Katy,
brings
your
up questions.
time is up.
Thank you.